so welcome back to some weaving goodness. So I'm continuing to work on this tapestry cushion, and I'm going to be looking at some diamond twill using 3 colours. Now, my original plan was to use this draft as my original draft. So we've got the 2 colours of blue, and I was going to do just the 2 rows of the diamonds. I thought, actually, looking at the height that I'd got to with the other weaving before it, up to the end of the crowbrad. One day I'll work out how to say that. But when I got to the end of that section, if I then put just the 2 rows of diamonds on, it wasn't going to be high enough to where I'd need it to be for me to put the next section in that I've got planned. So I adapted that idea a bit, and I went to this idea. So I doubled the height of it, so that'll give me a bit closer to where I'd be looking for to then put the middle section in before doing my repeats back in the other direction. So I'm going to reverse the stripes in the other order. But thinking about this would be fine if I was doing a 2 colour diamond twill. So I've got the dark blue and the light blue, and they're going to sit right next to each other. So the coloured squares are where the weft is going over the warp, and the white squares are where it's going under the warp. But because I've got white in the previous stripe and white at the bottom, with the double height, that was going to be a lot of blue. I definitely wanted to use the 3 colours. So I had another little think, and I've ended up with this version. So I've got, oh, that's upside down. There we go, that's better. So we've got the dark blue diamonds here with the light blue in the middle, and the light blue with the dark blue in the middle. And in between, all this grey, that's going to be the cream, the background colour. So that'll then balance the colours out a bit more as it builds up the cushion cover, and should fit in better with what I've got coming for the next section. So I'm going to float up here and let you see some footage of me having a go at this particular weaving band, this 3 colour diamond twill. Now, as I said last week, I haven't tried these techniques before. This is my first go with this particular weave. So what you're actually seeing is me pootling around and trying to work things out and hoping that things are going to work the way that I intended. So we're starting at the bottom of the draft, and I'm reading the draft from right to left on the first pick with each colour. So if I've got 2 colours in the same row, I'm working that pick with 1 colour and then that same pick in the next colour. Then I'm working back the other way. There is a little bit of fudging going on either side of the warp in the selvage, but again, seam allowance, it's not going to be a problem. So yeah, so it's kind of like a blend between the twill that we did in the first section, the chevron twill, where we're going over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, and the overshot that we did in the second section, where we were doing the one row with 2 colours in. And the main difference being that with the overshot, you've got your in-between rows being tabby weave. In the diamond twill, that's not the case. So yeah, so enjoy some speed weaving down below of there. I might pop off the screen a little bit and let you enjoy me weaving super fast as I work my way up this particular band a little bit further. So now you should be able to see pretty much the first row of diamonds in place. And yeah, they're a little bit more ovally than diamonds, but that's essentially because I plot things out on Excel with square boxes. And when you're knitting or crocheting or weaving or any of that sort of stuff, the stitch or the use of the weft going over the warp, it's not exactly square a lot of the time. And my warp threads are quite thin. They're kind of like a lace weight type thickness in yarn tags. And I'm working with a DK to worsted weight yarn. So there is quite a contrast between the two of those. They might be slightly squarer if the warp and the weft were closer in weight. I'm not sure, maybe, possibly, it could be. I may try that at some point. So yeah, so there is that sort of unevenness which is giving it this sort of ovally shape, but you can see the centre colour coming through in the middle of the weave. I will obviously be letting you see down there somewhere, sort of around and below me, what it looks like closer up. Yeah, you are seeing the warp threads a little bit through with this particular pattern, but that's okay. If you beat down too hard, they're going to smush down even further and become even less diamond-like. I don't mind them being sort of overly, it kind of reflects the waviness of the overshot in that second band there. So I'm going to continue on and work the light blue row of diamonds on top of the dark blue. And yeah, build it up from there. So as you can see, I'm now about halfway through that one, exactly halfway through this band. So I've got one dark row in, one light row in. You can see the little blips of colour in the middle of them. Yes, it's a bit more ovalish than diamond, but I mean, they are diamonds. They're just connected together a bit shorter than they are wide. It's fine. But that echoes nicely the waviness of the overshot row in this band here at the bottom, which I quite like. And also having put the cream in, it's echoing the colour usage in this crow rod band here. So yes, I'm quite happy with that, and I'm going to be repeating this whole section again immediately on top of it. Now, if I just use my weaving comb as a measurement, this is what I've been doing to check how far up I'm going, which is why I know I need to do the 2 sets for this band. So at the narrowest point, because obviously the weaving is pulling in at the side, as weaving tends to do. So the narrowest point is 1, 2 and a tail wide. So for a square cushion, I want to be about 2 and a tail tall. So at the moment, if I just put the teeth on, that's probably easier to see. So at the moment, I'm coming up to just the shoulders here. What I need to have for at my centre point is one sort of half a tail, essentially. So one would be up to here, so half a tail is going to take it to about there. So by repeating this section, we're going to get to about the base of the tail there. So that's maybe 1.5 inches in length from where this band will finish to the tip of the tail. So we'll probably want about 2 inches to get to the middle point. So my middle section is going to be about 4 inches wide. So it's going to be the widest section on the cushion. And that should then mean that when I'm coming to the other direction, the top half of the cushion cover, it should work out to be approximately a square. I'm not worrying about it being too exact, but approximately a square would be good, because the cushion inserts that are easiest to come by tend to be square. And I think I might actually have some somewhere in a cupboard, maybe, possibly. They're not expensive, like £1.50, £2, something like that for an insert from some places. So I can always get one if I can't find them, but I'm sure I've got some somewhere. Hopefully they'll be the right size, because that's the other issue. I haven't looked for them because I haven't got the finished cover yet. So yeah, so that's my plan, to get to 1.5 a tail to the middle point. So yeah, so that's my next step. Now, I need to get this edited and up for you for Saturday morning. So I'm going to carry on doing the rest of this band off camera. So you'll see it next week when I come back to do the middle section, which will be a different form of twill. I need to work out where I'm putting the colour in that one as well, because at the moment it's drafted all white, or all cream rather. But I think I want to carry the colour through that section as well. So a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of adjusting to do. So I look forward to seeing it in my next video. And in the meantime, you may be interested in this video here. But until then, happy crafting and bye-bye for now.